to our channel. You're saying Turnabout right now. We are diving into Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, episode 3, Turnabout Ninja. I said Turnabout Ninja. Turnabout Samurai, day 2. So it looks like we're going to be entering the trial. This will be the beginning of the trial, so I expect the trial to last for like 3 days. So let's get into this, man. Yeah. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution will call this first witness. Very well. I call up most familiar face Detective Gumshoe to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. Actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios is here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on to the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All of the production staff were in the employee area until noon. And after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. Production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30. A samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? I'm thinking off rip. Nah, I don't need to listen to that John again. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How? And evil. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Here's the old witch. Will the witness declare her name? Aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their name. Ms.OldBag, dearie. So just call... Bro, she be yapping, bro. Objection! Object to the witnesses talking to this. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. Let me just get into the good part here. perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, he was. But to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Alright. Let's press this bitch. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the gate station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since this morning. But that morning, I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interested to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. How would she have known it was Mr. Powers? That's the question, too. Now, let's get it. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to go into the studio well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. That's what I wanted to hear. But the main gate was locked. You need an employee key card to get in. Right, the key card I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? Bro, Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since this morning. Well, I had some errands to run that morning. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. I was watching for Hammer and Powers, observing, you know. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm sure your boss should see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? No. I wanted to go into the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. I was at the main gate from then until 5. So you were watching there the whole time, no breaks, not even for a second. Of course, I'm a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday. I can watch the game and eat donuts at the same time. Whippersnapper whips. Snapper whipper. Snapper whopper. Oh, Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So, the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right? Let's see. 2 p.m. Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. 2 2 p.m. Are you sure? Sure as spit.
Well, where's the man?
Really, you should try to not to get so excited at your age. You might strangle something. Now, don't you get your scabies all in the bunch. I told you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed towards the studios.
How could that have been him then?
Objection!
Let me get this straight, OldBag. Ms.OldBag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in his photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than a Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Tokyo. Ms.OldBag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? He has a whole suit. No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness.
He's having trouble calling her OldBag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Crazy old man. Of course I have proof. What?
Edgeworth is either surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known of all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I supposed to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed of all of yourselves. Anyways, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then, Ms. OldBag.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he strained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
Well, let me go ahead and say this. When they was just doing a run-through, do they actual run-throughs in costume? Because they were clearly out of costume when she was in there watching just now. Let's get it. Let's get it. I never say anything I don't mean.
Hold it.
Whippersnapper. Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on to the straight and narrow, the up and up. Used to they always whine about each other, pointing their fingers at each other, make an old lady want to cry.
Mr. Wright, please, for all sakes, try not to upset the witness.
That morning during the run-through of the action scene, he saw Powers trip and fall.
Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then? Oh, her. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess, dearie. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
I didn't know I could go back like that.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
Hold it!
He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
A samurai spear?
The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
It strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where is this steel samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Jake. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice, dearie.
Miss Yappin.
The time of poor Hammer's death was at 2:30, true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Mr. Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I think it was her, bro. She fixing the motherfucker. She's the only person that touched the spear other than the bull.
The time of poor Hammer's death was at 2:30, true?
So he is dragging one leg. So he is dragging one leg. Whoever this is, heard they motherfucker.
For real?
You can't even tell if he really dragging his leg. That's the crazy part. Hold on. He died at 2:30, so this is 30 minutes before. How could he?
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
Oh my god. Will Powers. Are you absolutely sure?
Quite, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking past by at all.
Nobody's suspicious looking, right?
No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
Are you sure?
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy?
OldBag sure has balls, or, you know what I mean.
Nice. Has a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30, true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Mr. Will Powers. No one else went there.
Dressing room.
If they had, I would have seen them.
How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. Then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
Bro.
No one else went there.
What about before you got to the guard station?
I mean, before what? Everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, they had, I would have seen them.
How? I want to know how long she actually, I want to know how long she actually fucking, took to
Wrap up the spear.
she would have seen them.
Oh no, something's right. If they had, I would have seen them.
No one else went there. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Will Powers. This is a tough one. That's the only thing for me to do is present this, like, cause I don't know, like, he's driven with powers. It's like they want me to get this wrong or something. Whoever this is had the spear. They say he's dragging one leg. Breaking the staff has been mended with duct tape. No one else went there. He had a way to see them. No one else went there. Where did I get that key card? Dragging one leg. This is crazy. If they had, I would have seen them. Let's see. How long was you fucking with this spear? Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does. I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make that decision, Mr. Wright. Wait. Still didn't go so well. Yeah, I would have seen them, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what the fuck. And that's went weird. Hold on. The first time I saw go to the studio before that was Mr. Good Powers. I have no clue, bro. What else went there? I would have seen them. No one else went there. I would have seen them. Has a way of skipping over important details after all. For that matter, entirely forgetting something for you unfortunate. Too very true. Oh, okay. There's no outside and go to the forums with powers. I have no clue, bro. I'll be real. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Give me 1 second, y'all. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo 2. Ooh, where was photo 1 at? What the fuck? Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo 2. Photo 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was only the only photo? Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one but two people went to the studio that day. Yet, there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
Me? What's your mouth, whippersnapper? The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means two people went by.
Oh, well, yes, that's what it would seem to me.
And the witness explained this to the court.
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help.
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are, you whippersnapper too.
Whippersnapper.
Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Ms. OldBag?
Yeah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate, someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you can put it that way. This bitch is enabled.
I see. Your testimony, please. Person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see? To think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Oh, now you remember. What the fuck? Ms. OldBag, this is the first time I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do.
And what is that? Another job.
That's right, I check all the photos. Well, I check all the people that pass by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that the security camera takes.
Back up all of the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. Those computers are just so frustrating. Throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? know, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part.
That's right. For the most part. This is a murder trial. Ms.OldBag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing. How would that have looked suspicious, though? Hold on, though. How would that photo have looked suspicious? Hold on. Why did that photo look suspicious to her? I mean, why did she keep it? Why did she throw it that way?
But think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. But think of it now, I only remember throwing out one photo that day.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
A fanboy?
Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows who where. They're always hanging about. What was there then?
Objection!
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate had been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. I told you they are freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably second or third grade.
he would have still had the... What? He still would have had the... Oh, I see. Order. Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate when they went to the studios that day. One was a steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about second or third grade.
Oh yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
Boy in second or third grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the mayor's there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 3. Mr. Powers. Yes. Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So, who was the steel samurai in that photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone that walked in and taken it away.
What? You should take better care of your stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect now.
Nick, what are you going to do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. It'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Yeah, just take care of this shit, cuz. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one who could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. But who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Hold on. I'm thinking. Peripheral. I'm thinking the security lady, bro. Because I think the assistant girl, I don't think it was the grade school boy. The assistant girl is the only person that hasn't been really talked about. They said she was cleaning backdrops or some shit. Only peripheral, I was suspicious of the security lady. I was suspicious of the security lady. Suspicious of the security lady for sure, bro. She was grade school boy. Gotta make sure I choose the right person. The assistant girl supposedly wasn't there. The only person they saying that walked through, the assistant girl could have definitely did it though. She could have threw the shit on. I'm gonna say the assistant girl. I'm not gonna straight up. Actually, let me think about this, man. I don't think it's the old lady for some reason, but it could possibly be. She was down there watching it. She fixed the goddamn spear. Trying to think, like, the assistant girl. Let's go with the assistant girl, because the security lady, she's the only proof right now that we even have. She's the security guard of the place, so it was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in this picture is really the assistant. That's correct. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo. Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Silliest. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury. Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. And oh me. What about the assistant? Oh, her. She was cleaning up the backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She would have limped. Huh? It kind of takes legs out of the leg. It kind of takes the legs out from under that case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. But he knows. The trouble I've seen. Mr. Wright. This fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. So who was the person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Security lady. It was the security lady, Ms.OldBag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in his picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, OldBag. What? Get her ass, Phoenix. Order in the courtroom. Is this true, OldBag? OldBag? That's Ms.OldBag to you. Ms.OldBag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she want to go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he actually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you think you all think that I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't you just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Let's get it. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Ms.OldBag's action on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. I did it. Now, Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait, just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one who, photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, wasn't it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders, Dave? Whippersnapper. I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? Alright. Let's see. Because, hold on. So, he couldn't have committed the murder. The boy couldn't have committed the murder because he was never in the suit. He's too small to even be in the suit. Like, we keep going back to this photo. Like, bro, he's too small to get in the suit. Like, and he would have had to motherfucking. Hold on. So, I'm trying to figure out, did the kid where that was inside of the employee area? He still would have had to. He would have to have a key card, but the main thing is he would have had to fit the suit. So let me see. Bro, no fucking way, bro. No fucking way. I need hard evidence, though. Time of death, 2:30, pierced through the chest by a spear. Guy mapped to Global Studios. Why couldn't he have did it? Because he never passed by, like, hold on. She did say he passed by there. She did say he passed by there. But she threw the photo away. So I can present this, right? Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. Hold on. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Mr. Wendy. What's her name? Something OldBag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this OldBag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Shit.
Wait a second. I'm not going to sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. I'm talking.
God. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Ms.OldBag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? It wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. Wow.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Ms.OldBag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
Then tell the truth, bitch. No, this isn't a bad dream. Your Honor, witness the power of the OldBag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Witness the power of Phoenix Wright. What is you talking about? Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
Hold it!
So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Hold it!
Who? Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director. We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide now, here it is. You go through the gate all the way to the left. Half where the monkey's head was falling over.
Well, Mr. Bright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked them a question, but continue. They said they had nothing to do with it, see?
Hold it!
Ms.OldBag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that, silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Continue, fuck that. Guess there's no harm in getting as much information as I can.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day.
Hold it!
Keep pressing this boost. So they were actually in the studio?
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they made it before the cops came.
I feel sorry for Edgeworth, almost. She really left him hanging on this one.
If you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Hey, I guess pressing her was the right thing to do. For an old windbag, she sure likes keeping secrets. Let's get as much information as we can.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
I think it's only... They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been in the studios that day. If you're going to go accusing me, I'm not getting them away scot-free. Them. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director. We should have. Alright, well, we already did this. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So where were these people? The director was in the. Oh yeah, I'm wondering for the bunch. He told the producer around lunchtime when he had a meeting after that. The Studio 2 trailer. Let's look at the guide, man. Here it is. Go through the gate and all the way to the left. Password this headphone. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue your cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on that day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it's impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Ms.OldBag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Bam. October 18th, 104, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. It was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, really? It's nothing. Or should I say...
Well, we'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have you figured out just who was in that steel samurai costume? Did it really have been Old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying some time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for me to take the pressure off of Mr. Powers.
Old Windbag, I sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points out there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go. Appreciate everybody got a chance to watch the video, man. Like and sub up to your boy. Help me build up the channel for the community. Take your time, protect your energy. I'm gonna see y'all in the next episode. Yeah.